Hey everybody, so it's Benjamin back here again. I'm getting ready to do an oil change / routine maintenance on my Mitsubishi Eclipse V6 GT. Things that you're gonna need, or things that you may find useful to have. Things that you're gonna need: one, oil. You cannot do an oil change without oil. The Mitsubishi Eclipse GT 2001 takes 5W30 and it takes 4.5 liters. So buy yourself quarts, my bad. So buy yourself a 5-quart jug and that should take you through a whole oil change. I will also be doing a tire rotation and just a general inspection of my car. So you're gonna need something to remove your tires with. You're gonna need an oil filter. You're going to need, and these things you don't need, you may find them helpful to have, safety glasses and rags. Safety glasses so when you're underneath the car you don't get dirt and debris in your eye. And you're going to need a wrench to remove your to remove the nut on your oil pan with. You're also gonna need a jack, and I'm gonna be needing 4 jack stands because I'm gonna do a tire swap, so I'm gonna lift my whole car off the ground. All right, so let's get started. Thing number 1 is to jack up the car. Alrighty, so when you're jacking up the car, I like to go ahead and I set it right here. Let me get, guess you can see that well. Give me 1 second. So when I'm jacking up my car, I like to set it on the pinch welds. You see that right there, there's my jack. It's right on the pinch welds. And then I just go ahead and I jack it up. And I go ahead and I throw a jack stand on it. And I'm just gonna go bam. And I'm gonna go front, back, and back. And then I'm gonna lift the whole car up off the ground. All right, so I'll do that and then I'll tell you what to do next. Okay, so after you have the whole car stood on jacks so that there's room between all the wheels and the ground, right? Make sure the front end of your car is higher up than the back end. It doesn't have to be super major, but just to make sure it is, so the oil, so it helps the oil to drain a little bit better. All right, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna crack open the oil pan and drain out all that bad old oil. So now get under here, take a look at your car, make sure everything's good, and then go ahead and grab your wrench, right? Find your bolt. Mine is a 17 millimeter, okay? Make sure you grab the right size bolt. It's a big pain if you strip this. I mean, you can buy a new one, but like, just get the right size and you won't strip it. Mine's kind of a little bit stripped. Also, it'll be really good if you had gloves. That's one thing I do not have currently. All right, and on mine, you go ahead and you get station on it and you go ahead and you give it a quick little push, and then it should break free. And then I'll catch you guys after I break it free. Sometimes it takes 2 hands because sometimes I put it on there a little too tight. Okay, so I went ahead and I cracked it free. Go ahead and get your oil pan situated. Look at that light. I just want to make sure you guys can continue to see. Make sure you get your oil pan situated right underneath. Aim it out. You know, it's going to want to shoot out when you first take it off. So go ahead and get that right. And I'm going to go ahead and open this. This is a great time to get gloves because it's going to get all over my hands now because I don't have gloves. I've actually never done this without gloves, so we'll see if it's worth it. Oh, God. Okay. Definitely worth it to get gloves, guys. Go to the store and buy yourself some. They're cheap. Also, make sure you have a rag handy so when you get this bolt, you can go ahead and take it. And since your hands are all covered in oil, take it. All right, and go ahead and, oh no. Take it and you can just go ahead and set it on the rag so you don't lose it inside the oil pan, right? All right, so let's get on to the other things. Bye-bye. All right. So I was looking around and I definitely found some gloves. So, I wish I would have found those before. So go ahead, and I forgot a key step, shit. So what you're supposed to do is crack these bolts on the ground, which I forgot to do. When I mean crack them, you're just supposed to, set them on here, you know, have it on the ground and just give it a quarter of a turn, because when it's up on the ground, you see, it rotates. So I'm gonna try to figure out a way to stop it from doing that. I'll be right back. All right, guys, so when you have your car down to this point, it would be a good time now to go ahead and check your brakes, right? Make sure you got some meat on the pads.
You know, mine are getting kind of low. On my next change, I will be swapping them out for newer and better ones. The person who put these on here last did not put the greatest pads on there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swap them out on my next turn. Go ahead and look at your drums. Make sure they're not all scratched up, you know. And as you're doing this, just look around your car. Make sure everything's together, nothing's leaking, blah, 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 blue, blue, blue. Okay, and you see, I cracked them all, and when you're taking off these lugs, you crack them all a quarter turn, and then you go ahead and take them all off, okay? And now I'm gonna do that wheel, and then I'm gonna take that wheel, and I'll put it here, and put that wheel, and put it there. And that is how you rotate your tires when they're directional tires, okay? So you go left front to left back, and left back to left front. You don't. All right, so I rotated my tires. So when you're removing and putting on these tires, you want to go into start, tuning from here to here to here to here to here, okay? So after you get those tires swapped, you can go ahead, run under your car again, right? And you go ahead and replace your oil pan bolt, okay? And then you go ahead and you can run over to your filter, locate where your filter's at. And now it's time to go ahead and remove your filter. Make sure your oil pan is underneath, because that filter, when it comes off, is gonna have the oil following it, okay? All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Sometimes these filters can be pretty tight, so you gotta get a real good grip on them. Sometimes you have to go to the store and buy a wrench that can fit on this, and then you could turn it like that. Sometimes you stab them with a screwdriver and twist it. I hopefully did not put this one on too tight, because I did this one last, and I should be able to take it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and give that a shot now. Okay, so I removed it and I just set it in the pan and I left it off, and you can see it's just kind of dripping down. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap these tires now, okay? Okay, so when you're refilling the oil, you go ahead and go like this with the bottle. Just go bam with the lid on, okay? You'll see why in a sec. Go ahead and open up your oil, okay? And what you're doing that is so you can get some oil right on this little seal up here, because I do not actually remove this full seal. What I do is I take my thumb, right? I take my thumb and I go ahead and I pop it right there. And as you can see, that didn't work so well, but usually you can get it so you have a little funnel. Dang. Okay, but usually you can get it so you have a little funnel and it'll just come right out. Maybe I cut it usually, I don't know. I don't, you do this every 3 months, so sometimes I forget. But you go ahead, take out your new filter, right? Bam, brand new. I use Fram just because, it can last 5,000 miles, and I do my oil changes every 5,000 miles. So I want some guaranteed that it's gonna last. All right, so bam, go ahead and set it right there, okay? Go ahead and grab some oil from the inside lip of this, okay? Nice, good, fresh oil, and rub it around the seal. Just a little bit of lubrication. They're usually pretty dry. And then go ahead and before you put your new one in, your new oil filter in, go ahead and make sure the old seal is not stuck up on here. If that old seal is stuck up on here, you would see like a little black ring. Okay, so let's go over tightening, okay? When you get your oil filter, use your hand, okay? And go ahead and get it snug, okay? You don't want to go Hulk on it, just get it snug and then just a little bit more, and that's all you need, okay? You don't need to go freaking Hulk on the thing, okay? Your oil pressure is gonna tighten all that up, and you don't need to go Hulk on it, okay? Same thing with this, okay? Get it in there hand tight, okay? And grab your little wrench here, get it snug, okay? And then give it just, set it back, and then give it just about a quarter of a turn, okay? Not even a quarter of a turn, just get it a little, okay? That's all you need, right there. Some people crank on these things, and they get them tighter as hell, and they can never get them off, because they're all worried about leaking oil, okay? Just get them on there snug, and they will not leak oil, okay? You mess around, people always mess around, over tighten all their bolts and break bolts in the car. I've done it too. I'm looking at a broken bolt right now. I'm not going to show you because it's embarrassing. Don't over tighten your bolts, okay? People, do not over tighten your filter. Do not over tighten your bolt. You will be kicking yourself when you go to take it off next time, all right? All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and fill up this, okay? Go ahead and I'll show you my oil. It's pretty black. All right, and I use synthetics, okay? I use a full synthetic blend just because it's proven. Synthetic is a better lubricator, okay? So go ahead and grab yourself a little filter, okay? Just so you don't spill. Sometimes I won't get the filter, but that's usually when I get my little, you know, valve, you know, pop the seal right on the thing. So go ahead and take it. See if I can prop my phone up here so you can see me. And I'll go ahead and I'll just fill it up, okay? That's what it usually does. Now you gotta set it down and you go ahead and you tighten all your lugs by another quarter of a turn, all right? Give another quarter of a turn to get them snug. Do not over tighten the lugs. You'll bust a lug, strip a lug. You mess up your lugs, okay? Just quarter turn tightness. Usually I have a torque wrench on me. Today I do not. And usually when I have the torque wrench, I go ahead and I look up the proper torque. I believe it's 95 foot-pounds on my lugs, and I tighten it to that. Do not over tighten. There's no need to over tighten. Give it to what the factory says, all right? All right, sounds good. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up, and then I'm gonna take my car off the jack stand, set it on the ground, give those lugs a quarter of a turn, and then I'm gonna head off to my friend's house. Peace.